Sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy Dark Arco here with what if Yuji, what if Issei was the reincarnation of Yuji Itadori? Part 2 of this what if. But yeah, other than that, let me begin this with what if. Let me shut the fuck up and yeah. So we begin into mostly Issei kind of being at the club with Rias. Rias is right now kind of flustered a little bit because she was thinking about how last night was pretty interesting. Last night. Oh, let me get water. Yeah, last night was really interesting because they did a contract together. It was the one that was basically with that night in mostly the samurai. Issei was so much more interested in the samurai and knights kind of like interesting problem. He was like, I think I watched this in a movie. But wait. So of course this is where mostly that was happening. This is where Issei says, I think I seen this in a movie. This is where mostly Issei was trying to give kind of love advice, but he was that bad. So of course he gave up and said, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go watch a movie to figure out this more. This is where both the samurai and knight were just watching. Rias kind of had to help a little bit because she doesn't know much about love neither, and she only watches through anime. But yeah. This is where, mostly that was happening. So it managed to kind of figure out what they love each other and other things. So yeah, that happened also. But this is where, mostly the next day happens and Issei didn't go to school. You know where Issei's at? The fucking movie theater. Literally, he didn't show up to school. He literally just ditched it and went to the movie theater. But yeah. Sona is wondering where the fuck is Issei and why is he not here? This is where, she contacted Rias to see if Rias, saw Issei last night for contracts. Rias said, yeah. Truly, yeah. She found where Issei's at. He should be at the movie theater. But yeah. This is what Sona says. Do you know where he's at today? Probably the movie theater. Can you get him to school? I tried before. I tried calling him and I think he just had his phone on silent at this point. This is where, Sona says, are you serious? He has to be in school and then... This is where, Rias says, okay, Sona, stop screaming at me. God, I'm in my club and you're just screaming at me. Okay, I'll be going to go get him. Sheesh. I'll probably ask someone this way. Mostly, Rias kind of got caught and distracted by someone else, but yeah. This is where, mostly that was happening. This is where, Rias forgot about Issei entirely, but yeah. We go into the afternoon. Issei shows up at the club and says, hey guys, I'm back. This is where, we'll see everyone looks at him like confused. Back from what? They're confused. Even, what's it called? Yeah, mostly Asia. Oh, I'm back from the movie theater. I just came back from the fact that I was getting tickets and also getting stuff. So I got 3 tickets. Who wants to go with me to the new movie, the new movie that's coming out? It's called The Ant-Man. And it's love tragedy. That's where, mostly all of them switch out because when the fuck did Issei go get movie tickets for Ant-Man? And no, I'm not talking about like literally the Marvel Ant-Man, literally just a different movie. It's like Ground Worm Man, but no, it's like different. This is where, Issei says, so who wants to go with me? Asia? This is where, mostly Asia says, I never really went to movie theaters. Oh right, I never did take you. Let's go then. I have 3 tickets. You'll be basically my friend who'll be going. Anyone else? Everyone else kind of says, we got other things to do, like contracts and other things. Kiba said, I'm going to be training. This is where, right now, Kaneko says, no, pervert. This is where, Issei switch off, that's Kaneko. Issei stopped being a pervert after a while, but this is where, mostly, Akano says, Ara, well, I have things to do also, Issei-kun. Sorry. Rias was like, huh? Is this where, she's actually doing too much paperwork right now. This is where, she says, no thanks, Issei. Also, can you please stop ditching school to go to the movie theaters? But the movies are teaching me about life. This is where, Rias looks at him, switch off and says, Issei, can you not just ditch school? I'm not ditching school. I'm showing up here, signing up in all my classes, and then getting out of here. That's not, there's no rule that says I can't just like sign up on that paper that they have right there. I'm legally still here. Not entirely, but who cares? This is where Issei just outsmarted the whole entire system. This is where we'll see Ria says, but that she gets a headache from the fact that Issei just outsmarted everyone. This is where Issei says, other than that, I'm gonna go to the movie theaters every single day. Doesn't matter. He says I sign up in mostly all day. I don't care if you can sign up in the freaking like holidays. There's the idiots for actually putting there. Whatever. This is where everyone just switched up after seeing how Issei literally outsmarted the place and just saying that he's going to the movie theaters every single day. He is still going to show up at the club with movie theaters or somewhere else. Like he's bored. He doesn't like school at all. He's similar like Yuji. He's too hyperactive to stay in school, so he does not care. So of course, even though the teachers have mostly Issei not showing up, the paper that says mostly to sign up and other things because teachers has him most of the time. Usually it's on the desk. Issei shows up faster than everyone before even the teacher can unlock the door. Opens that shit by picklocking it. Goes to sign it. Signs in almost a paper where it says his name. Signs for the whole freaking like week, and then fucking leaves. But yeah, he just goes to a different freaking thing. So he does this for almost all the classes. So it's basically Wednesday today. But yeah. This is where Issei says, other than that, is there any contracts for me? This is where, Ria says, contracts? Not specifically to you, but Kiba's getting overwhelmed, so can you please do some contracts for him? Oh, sure, I'll do some contracts. So what kind of contracts am I going to be doing? Because I'm not like Kiba, so I need to know what exactly I'm supposed to be doing. Kiba? Kiba says, the contracts, some of them are new, so of course I don't know, so you can just take them. Okay. This is where Ria says, also, Issei, if it's a girl, don't be a pervert to her. Issei says, huh? Pervert? Oh, I gave up that a long time ago. I made an oath to myself. I'm not going to peep up any girls. I stopped being a pervert after a while. I say that's too annoying, and the fact that I don't really want to be chased down while me watching a movie theater, or a movie, or any of that. So I just gave up on that whole thing. I also gave up on the Harem King. So yeah, I stopped being a pervert. Isn't that great, Rias? Ria says, huh? Her eyes widen in an instant, realizing that Issei literally just gave up being a pervert. His cheerful smile literally shows that he's not lying at all. This is where Koneko, Akano, and Nun also seem surprised. This is where Okiwa seems kind of dumbfounded and shocked. Issei says, other than that, after I'm done with this like whole fiasco, whatever, I'm gonna go to, I don't know, train or something. Probably. But maybe I should go to the movie theaters. I heard there was a new movie coming out this night. Maybe I can finish my contract and then actually go to it. This is where, Issei says, oh, before I forget, Kiba says, huh? You need something? Issei says, yeah. So I found this strange looking sword that we found from Freed. And, I have it at home, but I keep forgetting to bring it towards you. So where exactly do you live so I can just give it to you? Because it's not really my style having swords. What are you talking about? This is where Ria says, wait. Don't give him that sword. This is where, Kiba says, what do you mean, President? He says it was something kind of called like an Excalibur. I'm really not necessarily needing that sword. So entirely, I'm just going to give it to you. I think it's a fake. Or it's real. I can't remember. I mean, Free tried to cut me and it really didn't work against me. But other than that, I'm just going to give it to you. This is where Issei said very, mostly telling the truth. This is where, Kiba won his eyes. And his one purpose in life was literally destroying the Excaliburs. This is where he goes up to Issei, grabs him from both of his arms, and says, give me that sword. This is where, Issei says, sheesh, calm down. Also, can you not be too close to me? This is still weird. I might not be a pervert, and I might not be lusting after girls, but for the love of God, or mostly for the love of fucking Satan, don't be too close to me. Do not swing that way, no matter how I just look at it. I still do not swing that way. This is where almost see Kiba. Right now, let's go with his hands, mostly both of his arms, and this is where Kiba's just like this. I understand. This is where Issei says, good to know. Well, other than that, yeah, you can just grab the sword from my house. Maybe I can give it to you. For some reason, it won't like burn me. It's probably some kind of fake sword that freed God just to try to scare the devils. But hey, who really knows? This is where Issei kind of like goes home. So I should go get the sword, come back like really fast. Like he ran he ran basically from school and back in only like 15 seconds. Brought the sword and say, here you go, Kiba. This is where Kiba looks at the sword and realizes it is real, and Issei is holding it like it's fucking nothing. He says, other than that, I should be doing the contracts. Thank you for the contracts. That's where he grabs like 3 of them and says, other than that, bye-bye, Reyes. Bye-bye, Kiba. Bye-bye, Akano. And bye-bye, Koneko. And also bye, Other-chan. Other than that, bye-bye. This is where, well, he runs off. And yes, the contracts does have the fucking, like, words at, so of course he runs it. And he gets there in like 4 seconds. Yeah, Issei can run pretty fucking fast. He is Yuji. Yuji can run like hell. He can run literally 3 miles in 3 seconds. Like, bro, what the fuck? Or 3 meters in 3 seconds. Like, what the fuck? Like, motherfucker is fast. He is Sonic. He is him. No, just kidding, but for real. While mostly Issei gets towards the spots that he needs to go, he realizes it's a straight shot from here to the other kind of contracts. So of course he's gonna go do them. But yeah. So the first contract that he has to do is this person that's asking for dating advice. Which Issei is not the greatest in dating advice, but luckily he watched a movie a while ago. But we go into him getting to the house. Well, it's a medium, kind of like small house or something. Well, not medium, it's quite big. But when he goes inside, I mean, he knocks at it. And this where, well, the door opens and this where the person say, come in. It sounds like 2 girls. Which mostly Issei is confused, but he just walks inside. This is where, well, mostly it's not 2 girls, it's actually just one. She just kind of looks at him, kind of just staring at him. She has kind of pinkish hair with bluish eyes, and this is where, well, she's just kind of interested in the other person having pinkish hair. She wasn't expecting the devil to have pinkish hair. She was expecting more like a devil to kind of have either blondish hair or something else, kind of looking kind of cute or hot or whatever. But of course, this pink haired guy doesn't look too bad. But this is where Issei says, so, what do you need? This is where, well, mostly Issei asks the person. The person blushes a little bit and says, well, how should I say, she says her name is Miyako Shikamori, and this is where, well, mostly Issei seems surprised, and then just kind of think it's in his head, remembering that last name. Where did he have heard that name? Or, well, her full name is Mariama Shikamori Hana, but not the point. This is where Issei says, that last name, I swear to God, I remember it somewhere. This is where Issei tries to think really hard, and this is where, well, the person says, are you okay? This is where Issei says, oh, yeah, I'm okay. Sorry, I thought I heard that last name before. That's interesting. Never mind. How old are you anyway? I'm 18 to 19. So, mostly I am actually 19. I just turned 19 a while ago. Oh, that's interesting. Wouldn't you have more experience in love than I would? This is where, well, she blushes and says, shut up and help me, okay? This is where Issei says, sorry, what are you looking for? Love advice? Yes, I need, how should I say this? I really haven't fell in love with anyone, and it's pretty hard to even find someone who I like. This is where, well, she's actually keeps glancing at Issei and trying to think of why did she just ask a male for love advice when males usually suck at love advice? Issei said, I think I watched this in a movie one time. So, this is where Issei explains the movie scenario, and this is where, well, pretty much he just explains pretty much what happened in the movie, and this is where, well, what's it called? Her name is Miyako, and Miyako kind of just, like, looks at Issei with a surprised look, and thinks that might work. Of course, it was from a movie, but of course, she's like, she needs to take any chance to try to impress any guy. This is where, well, Issei says, so, is that going to work or what? This is where, well, she nods. She hopes it works because she doesn't know anything about love neither. She's been more like an athlete, a trainer, to just, like, train her body. And, like, she mostly does, like, running most of the time. So, of course, she's, like, on the tracks half the time. He says, oh, that's so cool. So, what school do you go to? Oh, I go to Kuo. I go with my sister most of the time to Kuo. So, yeah. Oh, speaking of sisters, this is where, well, they hear a knocking at the door, and this is where, well, Shikamori say, not Shikamori, what's it called? Miyako say, oh, speaking of that, I gotta go let my sister and her friend in, or her 2 other friends. Which, not gonna lie, one is quite perverted and lustful, and I don't know why she even brings her here. Ugh, she's creepy as hell half the time. And her other friend, well, I like her a lot. She's like a little other sister for me. Another little sister. But not the point. You should come meet them then. What's your name? This is where Issei sweats out and says, oh, the name is Issei Hiro. This is where, well, Miyako kind of like looks back at Issei and says, huh? I thought you just said Issei Hiro. Well, it is. No, duh. I mean, you can also call me Yuji Itadori, but it doesn't really matter which one you call me. He just smiles at mostly, the Shikamori girl. And this is where, well, she kind of looks at Issei. What a very surprised look. He is the pervert of the school, and yet he's a dub. At the same time, his hair color literally is pink with brown. His eye color is like more of like a goldenish, more of a yellowish color, but it's still kind of golden brown. And that's where, well, Issei doesn't seem the same kind of like perverted, scrawny weakling. He looks like he has muscles on him, and he looks to be quite tall. So, wait, how tall was Yuji? I forgot. He's no longer 5'7", but 5'8", and this is where, well, mostly Issei just smiling at her, having his eyes closed, and just waving at her. This is where, well, mostly, she then kind of just smirks to herself, thinking that he's quite cute when he smiles. And of course, he is quite muscular. This is where, well, she might not go after the boy that she was interested in a while ago, which it was just some guy who's always kind of muscular, showing that he's the best and other things in track, but she doesn't know if maybe he will be defeated by Issei. This is where, well, she smiles to herself and says, oh, okay. This is where, well, she then smiles back towards Issei. Issei smiles back at her, and this is where, well, we go into a time skip of mostly, well, we go into Miyako kind of like bringing her sisters in, and of course, mostly her two favorite sisters, that being, well, mostly Catherine Shikamori Hana. Of course, well, that's her actual sister. And mostly, Moriyama, what's it called? So, mostly, Moriyama Masayoshi, and that's where, well, the last one is none other than Aika Kiryu. Which, mostly, she doesn't really see Aika Kiryu as a sister, mostly Moriyama as another sister, but not the point. This is where, well, Catherine says, so, what are you doing, sis? Why did you ask to be alone? Are you fighting with a boy or something? This is where, well, what's it called? Fuck, I'm gonna keep forgetting her name. So, mostly Miyako kind of just glares at her sister and says, no, I'm not here with a boy. Now, go back to your room and, I don't know, talk about whatever, okay? Okay? Catherine looks at her sister suspiciously. Of course, mostly Catherine is mostly 2 years younger than her sister, because she's actually now 19, but yeah. This is where, well, Miyako kind of says, other than that, I might be going out to, well, do something, okay? Make sure that your perverted friend doesn't get into my freaking, well, how should I say, my room and try to start wearing my clothing, okay? This is where, well, mostly I can say, I have never done that. This is where Shikamori glares at Aika, and I can say, yes, ma'am, I have, yes. This is where, well, mostly Catherine says, mostly she says, Miyako, you don't think that's a little harsh? Shut up, Catherine. I need to do something, okay? Let me go up to my room first. This is where, well, he says just right now kind of on his phone, kind of like thinking of what movie that he should watch later. Well, he does have a special movie that's coming up, but maybe what's other movies that he can watch. This is where, well, since he doesn't go to school tomorrow, and he can just sleep in, but yeah. But this is where, well, we go into mostly a time skip for him to kind of see Miyako come back, and right now kind of open the door. She then closes it, and then looks at Issei with a look of a little bit of fluster. He says, yo, but before he can even, like, say his, like, yo pretty loud, this is where, mostly Miyako cover up his mouth and say, shh, shush, my sister's here. And I don't really want you to be here, because if she finds out about you, she's going to annoy the hell out of me. Other than that, can you jump out the window? Sure. This is where Issei does not hesitate and jumps out the window. This is where Miyako kind of tells him to kind of go to the car that she has over there. This is where, well, mostly Issei does. He, like, shows up at the car and wonders what's happening. Mostly Miyako kind of walks downstairs to get her keys until she sees her sister. Her sister says, so, who exactly were you talking to? Because I hear a loud kind of male voice before you tell them to jump out the window. So, who is it? Miyako says, none of your business, Catherine. Now get out of here. Give me back my keys. No, I'm not gonna. This is where her keys get yanked because mostly Miyako is much more faster and flexible than her sister. But yeah, Miyako says, none of your business. Now go away. This is where, well, Catherine says, are you going to have fun with that guy or something? I thought you liked the guy in the track. Isn't that considered? I'm not. I don't like him at all. Okay? I do, but I don't. I shut up about my emotions, okay? This is where, well, Catherine says, okay, I'm sorry. So who is it? Uh, it's she's thinking of the name Yuji Sidori. Yuji? This is where Catherine says, I have never heard of a guy from our school named Yuji. He's new. Don't worry about it. Other than that, if you don't mind me, I am kind of going to my car now. Go away. Catherine says, fine. God, sis, why are you so nervous around me? It's not like I'm not gonna tell mom or dad. I'm not gonna tell them anything. This is where, well, Mori just scoffs and just says, just shush, Catherine, okay? Let me just kind of talk, okay? She's kind of breathing a little bit hard in this where, well, she says, other than that, I'm out. This is where, well, Catherine says, sheesh, sis, why are you so over dramatic? This is where, well, we'll see, Miyako kind of managed to get to the car. He says, yo. This is where, well, Miyako says, get in the car. He says, where are we going? Just somewhere, okay? This is where, well, we go into a convenience store, and this is where, well, they're pretty much just drinking slushy or something. He says, so, what's happening? Miyako says, okay, Issei, huh? If I tell you to drop the ORC, will you do it? Nope, why? Okay, no, you won't. Would you like to join the track team? Not entirely, no, why? And this is where, well, we'll see, right now Miyako is trying to think of something. Will you please race a guy tomorrow at, like, lunch break? I really don't show up to the school entirely. I sign up in that little paper where it says, sign up here to show that you're here. Pretty much there's no rule that I can't just mark every single other day of the week. So, of course, I just did that, and I don't really show up to school. Huh? What do you mean you don't show up to school? I go to the movie theaters half the time. And that's why I just ditched the whole day. I have that list that says I'm there, and of course, they can call me all they want, but I'm not going to answer them. I mean, I'm there. You can't really say that I'm not there. I sign up. Entirely, I might not be physically there, but I was there. I writ there, and it shows that it was written. That's what, well, right now, Miyako kind of just switch up and say, Issei, I can't really blame you because that's actually a genius plan just to do anything else out of school. It doesn't matter. I'm a third year. I should tell you to not do that. He says you want to go to the movie theaters later? This is where, well, Miyako kind of says, I might join you on that kind of movie theater option. Are you doing any other contracts or whatever double things do? Yeah, I'm actually gonna do 2 others, and that's why I was confusing while you trying to drag me over here. This is where Miyako said, I can drive you over there? No, I'm fine. I can just run over there. Are you sure? Yeah, I'll be fine. This is where he finishes slush. He puts it into the trash can. And this is where, well, mostly he says, is that all you need for most of your contract? I mean, I might need something, but I don't know. That's where Miyako kind of nodded, and right now thinks of something to give mostly Issei for the contract. She then kind of like goes into her car, checks in what she can give, and decides to kind of just give him. He doesn't really know. She's like trying to think. She's like, what can I give you? He says it can be anything, literally anything. That's where, oh, mostly Miyako says, anything? Yeah. That's where, well, mostly Miyako wanted to know if Issei's still a pervert. So, of course, what she did is she just grabbed one of her bras from mostly a pouch because she had, like, clean clothing and gave it to Issei. Issei said, I mean, why would you give me this? I'm confused. This is where, well, Miyako kind of sees that mostly Issei is not overreacting, having a blood nose or any of that. She sees that Issei is just blushing a little bit flustered, but of course he's not having an over blood nose or kind of sniffing the bra or whatever like his perverted counterpart does. She smiles. He kind of looks quite cute, very cute. This is where, well, we'll see. Issei says, well, here, I don't think I need a contract. I just say I failed the contract just to be fine with it. This is where Miyako says, no. Here. This is where, well, she basically just gave him some money and just say, there, I don't really have much. This is what he said, no, 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 I can't take it. No, you taking it, okay? You help me enough to think of what I'm gonna do. This is where, well, mostly Issei said, okay. Well, see you to school? Oh, wait, I don't really go to school. See you at the movie theaters later? Maybe? This is where Miyako kind of says, yeah, see you. This is where Issei runs off, and this is where, well, Miyako sees how fast Issei ran, and this is where she grins even more on her face. Her face kind of has a grin, which largened up, and this is where, well, she thinks that mostly Issei can definitely beat that guy. So she can actually finally fall fully in love with him. I mean, entirely, he is quite fast, strong, handsome, cute, and other things. And this is where Miyako is kind of just like saying, is this what love feels? Did I really fall in love with someone? I better not tell Catherine this, because if Catherine hears this, she's going to try to kill him. I can't let her do that. Not to my first love. No way in hell. This is where, well, mostly Miyako kind of thinks, yeah, should. He's mine. No one else. Mine alone. She kind of smiles to herself even more. And this is where, well, mostly we go into Issei running to the second house. This is where, well, or mostly the apartment. Is that one apartment, well, it's apartments for mostly someone. He goes up to the level of where it's at, knocks at the door, and this is where, well, it says number was like 605. This is where, well, someone opens it, and it's like this businesswoman. It's not the same one that mostly Kiba usually goes to kind of like cook and other things, but she seems to be quite tired, and this is where, well, she kind of, his name is. So this is how she kind of looks like. She is also quite literally pissed. She looks to be in her kind of like early 30s or something, or probably like late 20s, but this is where, well, she kind of glares at Issei and says, are you the fucking devil that I've been waiting for? Issei sweats up and says, hey, what's your name? This is where, well, mostly Michelle, well, her name is Michelle. Michelle, what's it called? So, she has an American name, and her last name is Shugoko. It was Shugoto. Basically a Japanese name, but yeah, this is where, well, she is right now looking pissed at Issei, and Issei said, this is where, well, she said her name, and this is where, well, she then grabs Issei from the collar and brings him inside. Okay, so I need help here. That's why, oh, she tapped me to tech market and other things. She looked like she just recently moved in, but she's been too tired with work and other things. And Issei said, sure. So you just tell me where to bring all the stuff and I'll bring it. And that's where she not. She gives mostly where to put all this stuff. This is where, well, her bed was comforted by Issei, like put in place. It wasn't too heavy, even though it was supposed to be really heavy for it needed like 2 people. This is where Michelle's laying on the bed, telling Issei where to put stuff and other things. This is what Issei does. He kind of like does it quickly, at the same time, not too quickly, where he breaks stuff, but yeah. He starts moving everything, and he seems not to be extremely tired. He has lots of stamina. This is where, well, mostly Issei did have to take off his jacket just because it kind of is getting in the way. So of course he took off his jacket, just showing off his like shirt. Well, he is quite muscular underneath, which Michelle kind of blushed. She wasn't expecting someone who's like a teenager is quite muscular. This is where, well, Issei puts the stuff back gently, putting everything around where she wanted everything at. And this is where, well, she kind of is glad to finally get all this stuff over with. And this is where Issei says, other than that, that should be all of it, shouldn't it? This is where Issei put back on his jacket. We'll see his, like, track jacket, but yeah. This is what, well, she nodded. She then says, oh, the contract, right. What do you need for a reward? It can be anything. This is where, well, she then smiles. And decides to kind of, like, give him a kind of, like, this diamond kind of necklace. Literally, it was worth a lot, but pretty much she doesn't really need it. Because it was only a gift from a guy that she never liked. So, of course, she just gave it to him, saying, here, take it. Besides, it's yours now, not mine. I don't really care too much about it. He says it, but isn't it? Shut up and just take it. He says it, yes, ma'am. That's what, well, she then says, I never got your name. What is your name? Issei Hyoto, or you can call me Yuji Isadori. It doesn't really matter. That's right, well, she then questioned about the 2 names. Issei says, well, not really many people like my first name, mostly Issei Hyoto, because some of the stuff I've done before is stupid. And so I just decided to change it to Yuji Isadori, thinking it's kind of cool. They have another name so people can call me, so most people won't mistake me for this or that. So yeah, I know it sounds stupid. No, it doesn't sound stupid at all. It sounds like a good professional name for someone who's still young. So, do you do track or something? He says, I don't really do any sports. Then why are you so muscular? Oh, I just train a lot. I just kind of wanted to make myself very healthy for the near future so I can live longer. Ah, you're quite interesting. Are you ever interested in doing, like, I don't know, computer work or like stuff like that? This is where Issei kind of mentions that he's way too hyperactive and he won't. He's like AD will make him like really not being in one place most of the time. He's way too hyperactive and doesn't really like doing stuff like that. That's where she smiles and says, I see. You're quite cute at the same time, quite interesting. You know that? Maybe I'll get you for more contracts. So your name was either Issei or Yuji Satori. I'll keep that in mind. Here's my business card if you ever need me. I'm mostly a lawyer, so if you ever get in trouble with the law or something, you can call me up. You know, just to kind of get you out of problems with mostly the whole law and other stuff. Issei smiles and says, thank you. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of takes the mostly necklace and also the card and says, well, bye, Michelle. This is where, well, she smiles and says, bye. This is where, well, she goes on her bed and kind of grabs a pillow and says, he's so fucking cute. Man, I should have just fucking told him that he's mine now. No, I can't just have my delinquent side think of my own kind of grown woman thoughts. I can't just kidnap a kid and say that he's mine. Well, he's not a kid, he's a man. I'm not gonna lie, he's quite handsome. This is where she breathes out hard and says, I pretty much want him at this point. But no, I can't. Maybe I can. Yeah, maybe I can. If I played the cards right, he will be mine. But not the point. This is where, well, we go into mostly Issei getting to the next place. And it's a house. It's kind of a normal house. It's quite big. It's kind of medium, but not the point. But yeah, other than that, we go into mostly inside. Mostly Issei knocks at the door. And this is where, well, someone comes out right now kind of wearing a nightgown. A very, like, seeable nightgown. She is kind of wearing a bra. Like, it's kind of a somewhat sport bra, but not the point. Even a sport kind of, like, panty. But, yeah. This is where, well, she's kind of yawning. She has, like, this icy blue hair with icy blue eyes. This is where, well, she also has this very snowy white skin, and she looks like this. Okay, just think of this, like, nightgown kind of being, like, a lightish blue, but not the point. But, of course, she does have a hat, and she kind of looks like this, but, yeah. Her name is Estif, and she is like 5'7", unlike Michelle. Michelle was at least 5'9". Well, not 5'9", no, she was like 6 feet, but even, what's it called, Estif was like 6 feet, but not the point, but yeah. This is where, well, she kind of looks to be in her 20s, and this is where, well, she then says, well, hello there. You must be the devil. This is where he says, yo. What's your name? Estif. You don't have a last name? No, not entirely. So, what's your name? This is where she says. This is where, well, because she looks at Issei and he's quite cute. Quite strong also. This is where, well, she's been analyzing him for a while. While kind of just looking at him for the first glance. This is where, well, mostly Issei says, oh, the name's Issei Hyodo or Yuji Satori. You can call me whichever. That's where she smiles. Interesting. Well, pretty much, I just kind of asked the devils, well, mostly a contract for devils, to kind of, well, help me in love advice. This is where, well, most Lisa says, what type of person you're into. This is where she says, well, I want him to be, this is where she kind of mentions all her kind of like things and what she wants. She wants a young kind of like man, similar to that of Issei's age, being 17. Quite a strong genius in having, what's it called, his potential quite a lot. Like, he has potential as so much. And other things. This is where Issei says, I see. I don't really have friends like that. That's where he thinks of mostly Moto Hamamatsu, and they went out the fucking room. Like, went out the door. Like, they were like, their freaking photo was popped up. Yuji appeared, grabbed them, threw them out the window, and just says, yeah, that's not gonna happen. This is where Issei then thinks of Yuji. Yuji says, I'm already like the age of like 20, kid. This is where, well, there's no way in hell she even wants me. And how the hell would that happen? This is where, well, Dietrich kind of just says, yeah, that is true. This is where, well, Issei thinks about Kiba and says, I mean, Kiba is, I guess, decent. I mean, this is where, well, he thinks about, I do have a friend. His name is Kiba. I mean, he was the one that's supposed to come here. And not me, but he was too overwhelmed with contracts. So, yeah. This is where, well, Estes looks at Issei quite curiously. Issei seems to be quite thinking of the problem. And he's not thinking of himself. He's not saying, oh, I will be the perfect candidate. He's thinking of other people. This is where Estes kind of smiles. He's quite kind, gentle, and other things. This is where, well, she smiles even more. Just kind of looking at Issei like if he's more interested in anything else and her kind of like, well, house or any of that. This is where, well, Issei says, well, let's see. I can't think of anyone else except for Kiba. So maybe you can just wait for Kiba tomorrow. This is where Estes says, nope, I'm not gonna wait. Huh? I already found him. You did? Yeah. Oh, I thought you said you needed help. Well, yeah, maybe I'll talk to him later. But I do feel a little bit tired. So, this is where, well, she pulls out a kind of like sword that she was actually going to use as mostly a contract kind of like gift or whatever for the person to help her. She thought it was going to be female. It was going to be like a talk with females, not a talk with a younger male, which she already took in a liking in an instant. Well, in an instant. She just needs to know his potential and other stuff. This is where, well, Issei kind of takes the sword. The sword looks like this. She gives a blade towards mostly Issei, and it's called the Red Rose. And of course, where, well, it's actually a cursed blade. And this is where, well, she's actually wondering if Issei's pretty good at using, well, mostly the sword. She knows it's a curse, but she needs to know how the devil reacts to it. This is where cursed energy is actually seeping into this like blade, and this is where it's transforming it into mostly Issei's own blade, but yeah. Which it still just stays the same, but yeah. Actually, it was more like this blade. It wasn't the rose blade. It was kind of called the red lily. But yeah, it's a cursed blade, and this is where, mostly Issei says, weird. This sword looks kind of interesting. This is where Issei kind of swings around, and of course, he looks like a professional swinging it, but yeah. Before anything else happened, this is where the sword actually appeared as spirit, and she looked like this. This is where she said, Ara Ara. I didn't know someone else can hold this blade. This is where, well, as if when her eyes, after seeing the blade, kind of have a spirit. She never could actually activate the spirit, but of course, this is where, well, she appears, and this is where, well, her name is, well, so her name was Akayuri, but yeah. This is where, well, she smiles and says, Ara Ara. So you're quite interesting. She kind of just like holds on to Issei, and Issei just looks uncomfortable as hell. This is where, well, because he wasn't expecting this. This is where, well, Yuji said, curse object. I guess it had a cursed spirit. This is where, well, right now he looks to Dietrich, and Dietrich's like, hey, don't look at me. I'm confused here. Right now, Issei says, cool. You seems interesting. So, your name is, Akayuri? Yes, there. Handsome. This is where, well, mostly Estef gets jealous because mostly this person's kind of hugging onto mostly Issei. This is where she wants to take the blade away, but this is where Issei mostly sheeps the blade, and the spirit disappears, saying, so she's actually a part of the sword. This is where, well, mostly in his mind scope actually appears her again. This is where, well, she says, we can talk either way. Either you're holding the blade, doesn't matter. We can talk anyway. We have a link in connection now. Now, thanks to you add your own curse energy into me, I basically became one with you. So you can basically do anything to me. This is where, oh, Issei starts up and says, well, this is where Issei says, thank you for the sword. Other than that, I'm going to the movie theaters. Bye. This is where Estef says, wait, before you go. This is where, oh, Issei says, I would like to go with you. Issei says, okay. But you don't seem, didn't you say you were tired? No, I'm fine. This is where, oh, she kind of gets dressed really fast. And this is where, well, she kind of smiles at him. She's right now wearing this kind of outfit. Wait. She's wearing this type of clothing, and this is where, oh, she then says, well, then let's go. This is where, oh, she kind of grabs onto Issei's arm, but yeah. This is where Issei says, yeah. you know, you should probably put the sword away, like into your magic circle or something like that. This is where he says, like, yeah, sure. That's where he kind of uses his curse energy to kind of sort of put it like into his like mostly boosty gear, but yeah. So this is how mostly Miyako kind of actually appeared, Shikimori. She was actually at the movies waiting for Issei. This is where Issei's arm was being grabbed by SF, mostly his right arm, while mostly Shikimori notices and she gets angry, kind of narrow her eyes at mostly the 20-year-old kind of female. This is where she grabs onto Issei's left arm and says, "Hey, Issei." This is where Issei says, "Hey, Miyako." This is where he blushes a little bit at why both girls are kind of holding his arm. This is where, well, mostly they hear her coughing, and this is where, well, Issei turns around to see none other than Michelle. Michelle's actually wearing something very casual and other than that. Just think of it like she's wearing this outfit. And no, she doesn't have blue hat, blue hair, or blue eyes, but yeah. But Issei is kind of just wondering why they all kind of came here. I mean, he does say that he's going to the movies by himself. It really didn't matter. He noticed that the movie, is right now live, and actually he's happy to go see it. So, of course, the girls kind of smiled because they all kind of got their own tickets. Of course, this worked well. They all sat really close to Issei. Michelle was actually behind Issei while the other girls were actually still holding on to his arm. While Issei is actually trying to eat popcorn normally, of course, the girls are kind of glaring at each other, but yeah. But Issei doesn't really seem to care or mind at all. But yeah, probably just doesn't seem to care too much. But this is where, well, the movie was over and Issei says, "Thanks. Well, see you. I gotta be going then. I gotta get to my house." This is where, well, mostly three of them nodded. Now, of course, they glare at each other and say, "Who the hell are you?" This is where, well, they actually kind of talk to each other. And yes, basically, it's none other than the fact that they all had different contracts with Issei. And of course, this is where, well, mostly, Miyako says, "I'm not going to share him with any of you. You're too old anyway." This is where, well, Michelle says, "Who said he's too old?" This is where Esther scoffs and says, "I'm not too old. I'm basically in my 20s. I just kind of turned 20 years old a while ago." This is where, well, mostly Michelle says, "And I'm basically still young for him. Now shut up, you little girl." This is where, well, they are glaring at each other, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly all of them are just glaring at each other, but yeah. Because they want Issei for themselves. They're kind of that type of person. They just want them for themselves, but yeah. But we go into Issei's POV. Issei is about to get home until he hears a kind of scream, like a girl kind of screaming. And this is where, well, Issei kind of rushes towards the location to see what's happening. But yeah, when he gets there, he sees a black-haired girl with kind of white hair and kind of having bluish eyes. She kind of wears this like black kind of like long sleeve with mostly a turtleneck, but it's all kind of ripped. And this is where Stray is actually attacking her. But yeah, this is where, well. Issei just decides to rush up to the Stray. Before the Stray can even do anything, Black Flash! Punch the shit out of the Stray, launching him into the wall. This is where, well, the person who's right now is still trembling. Of course, this is where, well, she basically seemed quite hurt in her legs and other things. And this is where Issei seems to be quite annoyed and pissed at the Stray. This is where, well, Issei's look of demeanor just went from kind of, well, serious, or I mean, he was kind of like, not serious. He was like a while ago, kind of like gentle, nice, and kind. And now he's already dead ass serious and ready to murder. This is where, well, mostly he sees the Stray getting up. The Stray says, "Ugh, what the hell was that?" He glares at both Issei, sending tentacles straight towards Issei. Issei grabs the tentacles and all of them, pulls the guy straight towards him, mostly the Stray, and punches the shit out of him. Right now, sending another Black Flash. This is where he then uses, what's it called? His kind of technique being called the diversion fist. He punches it with Black Flash, and of course, they made a huge hole appear on the guy's head, taking off his head. This is where Issei says, "Are you okay?" This is where the girl seemed to pass out in an instant, and Issei didn't know what to do. So, of course, basically, he just grabbed her and says, "Okay, what to do with her? I can take her home. I do have a straight room. Not straight room. Another kind of room. But Ozzy should be taking that room. What should I do?" He remembers getting Shikamori's kind of number, and this is where, well, mostly Issei sighs and decides to call Shikamori. Shikamori says, "Yeah? Hello?" This is where Issei says, "It's Issei. I need you to come to this location." Shikamori blushes and says, "Why?" "I found someone that just passed out and I don't really know what to do with them." This is where, oh, Shikamori says, "Sure, I'll be over there then." She comes over after a while. Of course, where she sees kind of the dead body of the Stray and says, "What is that?" That is a stray. That's what we have to deal with most of the time. Of course, I managed to kill it, which is one-shotting it, but not the point. The girl here was being attacked, and since I don't really have healing magic, I have, well, something called reverse technique, but I already healed her, but I don't know if she will be fine or not. And I really can't just take her home, because my parents will be asking so many questions about, like, why you got a female here? Are you going to do something to her? Blah, 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 blah. I just don't want to deal with her. Mr. Shikamaru smiles and says, I understand. I'll take her home then. What is her name? I have no clue. She passed out when I actually killed the stray devil. I see. So, is there some kind of like erasing mind technique that you know about to erase her memories when she wakes up the next morning? Nope. I probably need to call Rias, but I already tried to call her and she hasn't answered. Okay. Wait, Rias? I mean, okay, I can see. So basically, Rias is like your other devil kind of contractor or something like that? Yeah? That's where Issei kind of pokes his fingers together. That's where Shikamaru kind of smiles and says, don't worry, I'll keep the secret quietly. I won't tell Rias anything about that you basically told me about her true identity. It doesn't matter. Don't worry, Issei. Your secret is fine with me. You're just going to have to do a little things for me. And what's that? Race mostly Kai tomorrow. Kai? You mean the track athlete, the male side? Yep. Are you sure about that? Yes. This is where she smiles towards Issei. Very gently. This is where Issei says, okay, fine. I guess I'll be seeing you at lunch. Yep, do that. This is where mostly Issei says, okay. This is where he smiles at mostly Shikamaru. Shikamaru smiles at him. Now, of course, this is where she picks up mostly the girl. And, of course, the girl is kind of heavy, but not much. Shikamaru is quite strong. She is kind of an athlete, but yeah. Well, not kind of. She is an athlete, but yeah. She's actually been trying to kind of be an athlete for a while, but yeah. Or not for a while. She is an athlete in the school. What I'm going to talk about, but whatever. But, of course, she decides to kind of wave her hand straight towards Issei and says, bye. This is where Issei says, yeah, bye. This is where we'll see Issei decides to go home after a while. Like, he just ran over there. And this is where he gets to his house and kind of just knocks at the door. Sees that no one's inside. Kind of decides to open it. And see, well, two people that he never has seen in a while. That is, how should I say, mostly Irina and also Zenobia. Which, mostly, he's just thinking of Irina because, well, it's the first time he's seen a girl with orange hair. And a girl with blue hair. He decides to ignore him and go upstairs, but yeah. This is where, well, both of them were confused seeing Issei. Issei was confused at seeing them. Of course, his parents already seen his pinkish hair, so of course, they were confused in what they were looking at. Who's that pinkish hair guy? Mostly Irina said towards mostly Mika. Mika's like, oh, that's Issei. Sorry, his hair kind of changed. I don't know why. This is where, mostly Zenobia says, pink? Really? I don't see that much but man color. Issei says, screw you, bitch. Pink is amazing. This is where Issei walk off, but yeah. He did kind of get in more of an attitude, but yeah. Because no one talks shit about his pink hair. But yeah. This is where, well, most season away gets a check mark, but this is where, well, I didn't say, and he got more aggressive. Yeah, that's something that I don't know much about. This is where, well, we go into a time skip the next day, but yeah. Issei is going towards mostly, not the ORC, but to lunch, and this is where, well, he is at the school. People were wondering why he came back. Because they were actually happy that he didn't came back, but they realized he had pink hair, brownish hairline, and of course goldenish kind of like, well, mostly at close to being yellow at this point. This is where, well, mostly Issei just ignored everyone and goes to the kind of track field, and this is where he's racing against Kai. Lots of girls are kind of cheering for Kai to actually beat the perverts, and this is where, well, mostly one person's cheering, and that is none other than Shikamaru, well, mostly Mika. Or not Mika, mostly Mike, bleh. Yeah, mostly Shikamaru is actually kind of happy for Issei to win. She's actually smiling with such a vicious grin. This is where, well, Catherine and mostly Moriyama appears, kind of saying, hey, why are you kind of smiling? Did Issei do something to you? I mean, if he did, this is where, well, Shikamaru says, no, he did nothing to me. What I actually am doing is actually making him race against Issei. The reason why is I'm making Kai actually kind of lose entirely. What do you mean? Oh, you don't know about this, but Issei can run pretty fast. I'm just going to add him into my track team. That's all. maybe also date him. This is where mostly Catherine Moriyama looks at mostly Shikimori with wide eyes and say, whoa, what did you say? This is where mostly she's smiling, kind of just waiting for the whole match to begin. Or, yeah, this is where, Micah, Micah kind of just said. But yeah, this is where, the race begins, and this is where Kai is actually running and saying, yeah, I'm a win. This is where Issei starts fucking booking it. This is where he runs past this man like 3 times, making everyone wonder how the fuck is Issei outrunning this man so fast. He's basically being the Flash. He's over here just like, yo, sup, hi, hello, when are you gonna get here? Come on, man, don't be slow. Yeah, yeah. This is where, the person's just winding his eyes. Kai just literally feels despair and falls down to the ground. He is crying while Issei literally overlapped him over 24 times. Besides, mostly Micah kind of just told him to actually just kind of, if you need to bully him, and bully him a lot. Which Issei didn't want to bully him. He just wanted to kind of wonder if this is really necessary. Truly, he just outrun this man 24 laps, and this is where everyone's confused. Huh? How? What? What kind of drugs is he on? This is where, Issei says, there's Shikimori, I managed to outrun him. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to go to the movie theaters. I'm actually going to leave the school, go to the movie theaters. So see ya. This is where Issei kind of just like waves at Shikimori and says bye-bye. This is where Issei kind of runs off, jumps over the wall, and starts fucking running. But yeah, this is where everyone says, huh? Did he just jump over that motherfucking wall? Isn't that a fucking 10-foot fucking wall, and he just jumped over that shit like it's nothing? People are just saying, nah, man, he's different. What the fuck? We thought he just changed because of his pinkish hair. This is where people say, nah, that man fucking took something and just became God at that point. People are saying that man became the Flash. That man became the hope of the universe. So many people are just going rambling on. This is where, people are just saying, nah, this man is just wild. But yeah. But we go into Issei, going to the movie theaters and just having a peaceful kind of just watching movies. But yeah, at this point. And where's he getting this money? Well, he kind of got the money a while ago, but not the point. From the fact that he kind of sell off all his like magazines and other shit that he didn't really need, and he stopped being a pervert. So yeah. So pretty much he's just going to the movies because he's bored. But yeah, other than that, I'll be ending it off here for mostly part 2 of this What If. Bye, see ya, and yeah. But yeah.